Welcome, Xavier. How are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. We're so glad to have you with us and have Iowa State here in the Fiesta Bowl. We'll go ahead and open it up for questions. Let's start with Jonathan Schaefer from WOI.
Xavier, I mean, when you committed to Iowa State, was it in your mind that you guys could be playing a New Year's Six year one with this team?
Um, to be honest with you, it probably wasn't. To be honest, I probably wasn't even thinking that far ahead. If I had to be totally honest with you, but I mean, it's great that it's happening. I mean, it's just to be my first year a part of this team, and we're already going to the Fiesta Bowl, New Year's Six bowl game. I mean, you couldn't think of anything better to start your year here as an Iowa State player than to be in this, this prestige of a bowl game.
Let's go to Ben Visser.
Hey Xavier, how do the tight ends take pressure off of you as a receiver, just in their ability to be a pass catching threat?
Yeah, I think they take a lot of pressure off of us receivers. I mean, to always know that you just have someone who's reliable and they're big targets, and they take majority of the focal point of defenses. You feel like you always have to worry about them and what we can do with them, and then it kind of just opens up the lanes for the receivers as well to get one-on-one matchups and to get in the open field, which I feel like we excel at the best. So it's great to have the tight ends and to see what they do is just amazing.
Jonathan, did you have a follow-up question?
Yeah, I was going to just say, Xavier, when you look at playing in this prestigious of a bowl, what's it like knowing you're going against a name brand in college football too, in Oregon, a Ducks program that's been on national stage year after year?
It's great. It's great. I'm looking forward to the matchup. I'm looking forward to playing them, to just elevate, Iowa State's brand as well. I think, we want to try to get there to Oregon, and, to get to those name brand teams, you have to beat them. So I think we're just all looking forward to it.
Let's go to Michael Swain.
Hey, Xavier, I'm curious, down the road, if someone were to ask you about your first season with Iowa State, say 30 years down the road, and you can only tell one story, what story would you tell that person about your first season here?
One story. That's a very interesting question. The one story I'd probably tell them is the first game of the year, honestly. I tell them about when we faced ULL, and how to the outsiders it looked like we weren't going to be the same team or compared to any Iowa State team before, and I just tell them that we did the unbelievable, and we turned a lot of heads, and now we're at the biggest stage of Iowa State University in general, really. So that's probably the one story I tell is the first game.
We have a question from Matthew Bellinson.
Yeah, Xavier, just curious, obviously after the disappointing result in the Big 12 championship, how much are you guys challenging yourselves internally just to try and get a better result this coming Saturday?
We're definitely challenging ourselves to get better each day, whether it be in the weight room, on the football field, or just in the study room watching film on Oregon. It sucked to fall short, in such a big game. But, the good thing about life is that each day you can wake up and you can always get better. So I think that's our main focus. And I think we've all done a really good job with these 2 weeks on just getting better and challenging ourselves.
Let's go to James with the Oregonian.
Xavier, I know guys care a lot about recruiting rankings when they're being recruited and stuff. When you're the number 10 junior college receiver last year and 76 junior college prospect, how did you feel about it at the time? And confident as you were in your abilities and yourself, did you expect that you were going to be leading the team and have the kind of production you've had this season?
Yes, sir. With the rankings and stuff, I just kind of let that stuff play out. I believe in myself, and I don't let rankings try to determine how good I think I am. But then to answer your question about coming into this year, I didn't think I was actually going to be, the leading receiver or, anything like that. I just wanted to come here and try to make a direct impact and show them my abilities. And, my abilities carried me very far so far. So it's really been great. I couldn't tell you this 6 months ago or however long it was before I signed here, a year ago or something like that. I couldn't tell you that I'd be in this predicament right now.
Back to Michael Swain with 24/7 Sports.
And kind of maybe building off that a little bit, how has this first season for you been just in general? How would you just describe it maybe from just start to finish?
Yes, sir. Tremendous growth. Before coming into the season, I didn't know a lot about, defensive coverages. I never had to worry about watching film. The only thing I had to worry about was just playing football. And, when I got here, I had to go through some growth periods where I had to really challenge myself to watch film, to understand the playbook. It's way different than high school and junior college. I had to learn almost every single position quick. They expected me to learn it quick. I just had to make leaps of faith and growth, and just me as a player and me as a teammate. So I would say that most definitely.
Let's go back to Michael Swain.
And you mentioned that growth right there. Who specifically helped you maybe most develop over the course of this season? Was it a teammate, a coach, an administrator? Who are some of the people that maybe helped you develop over the last 6 to 9 months?
Yes, sir. So I would definitely give it to two people. I would give it to Coach Shieldhouse, our receiver coach, just getting on Zoom calls with me, making sure that I understood the playbook, that, I understood the little things that could carry me very far. And then the second person, I would definitely have to give it to Brock. Brock helped me tremendously. He forced me to come over to his apartment to watch film with him. He told me, hey, this is the time that we're going to throw. I'm picking you up, and if you aren't there, like he would give me no choice but to be there. So I would definitely give it to those two people. Without them and without their faith and belief in me, I don't think I'm doing some of the things that I'm doing this year.
Let's go back to James.
Xavier, who would you say is the best cornerback you've gone up against this season?
Best cornerback? I went up against some real good ones. It'd probably have to be Trey Brown was really good for Oklahoma. I think he challenged me because he had great speed. He was probably a lot faster than me, to be honest. So he really challenged me. I had to work on my craft. I knew I had to have a plan before I ran my route. But also, I'd probably give it up to the ULL corners as well. I know they're not, near us, but I thought they gave me, I thought they challenged me, from the start of the game opening up. It wasn't a cupcake type game. So I would definitely probably say those two teams right there, probably.
Over to Jonathan Schaefer.
X, you had mentioned your brother Q when we asked you about it post game in the Big 12 championship. What does being in this position for you mean for your family? Not outside, not football wise, but family wise, and to represent your family in this situation.
Yes, sir. It means a great deal to my family. Just to put on for my last name and to show them, to put on for the Hutchinson family, it's just great. I care about it deeply. And, like I said before, after the Big 12 game, everything I do is for my family every single time I go on the football field. So I know just that, I know they're proud of me no matter what, but, honestly, it just feels great. I couldn't tell you, there's so many emotions that go throughout that. But just to make them happy and proud of me is, the only thing that I ever cared about. So just to see that coming through is just, it's just great. Honestly, it's heartwarming.
Back to Michael Swain.
Xavier, something you mentioned, I think, earlier this season, or maybe it was Brock, but that at practice, if you guys didn't complete a pass together, he would stop practice and have you guys redo the play again. Have you ever had a quarterback do that with you before? And I guess in the long term, when you think back on those moments, how much did that help you throughout the season?
Yes, sir. Well, first, I don't think I've had a quarterback do that with me who's just so stringent on the small things like Brock is. But then looking back to it, I think it definitely helped us. I just think it built like character and faith and belief within all of us that, you may not get the first one, but he's going to come back to you again and again and again, and he's going to keep trusting you. So I think that just built that right there. And I think that was like the core of how we played together, just like on the set of belief. So I think that definitely helped us in the long run. And as you guys can see now, it's most definitely been helping us throughout the season.
Let's go back to James with the Oregonian.
Xavier, just so much you've watched on film from Oregon's corners, I imagine you're probably going to draw zero a whole lot in two. What have you seen from those two, and what makes zero in particular? Since I don't think I'm giving anything away. Best receiver against best corner. I think it's a pretty good idea that you'll probably match up with him. What makes him so effective?
I think Zero is really good. His experience, I think he's been there for 4 years now, I think. I don't know if I'm correct, but he's been there for a long time. So he's seen a lot of great receivers. So I think his experience is definitely going to be something that, you have to put into effect with the matchup, I guess you would say. But he's real fast. So he knows how to play. And then two super athletic from what we've seen so far. Dude can run. I'm pretty sure he's a little bit younger and experience-wise, but he still deals with he plays a corner position great. So, I mean, it's going to be really interesting to see how we go against them. And, I just can't wait.
Let's go to Ben Visser with the Cedar Rapids Gazette.
Hey, Xavier, going back to that one story you tell from the season, you brought up the Louisiana game and how you guys were able to bounce back from that. As a new guy in the program, what was that like for you? Was there a sense of, well, are we actually going to be able to bounce back from this? What was it like for you as a new guy?
It was great as a new guy. I believe that we were going to bounce back just because, our senior class, our coaching staff, there was never like a fear of not being able to bounce back. It was just when we would bounce back. So I don't think, as a new guy, it was just great to see that and to learn that. Being in, a real program now, they've taught me so much about just character and opportunity and stuff like that. So I think it was great. But no, I don't think we ever really worried about not bouncing back because of the culture that we built here. So.
Jonathan Schaefer.
Xavier, are you a gamer, and how excited were you when you heard you'd be getting a PS5?
Yes, I am a gamer, and I was super excited, super excited. I know those things aren't easy to come by right now, so to just be able to have the opportunity to get it's great. So,
what games do you normally navigate towards? Are you a Call of Duty guy? Are you a Madden guy? What are you?
I can't play no shooting games. I'm probably the worst action game player you've probably ever seen in your entire life. So I stick to more of what I can do. So I just play Madden and 2K. That's about it. That's
anybody else on the team? Do you guys like get together like on live parties or anything like that and play together or anything?
Yes, sir. We've done it a few times where we've played online, like the player friend games. So yeah, but yeah, we have.
Who's the best on the team at Madden?
Xavier. They won't. Nobody. If you ask them that, nobody will tell you that. But I promise you, I have the best record here so far.
Thanks, X.
Yeah, no problem.
Any other questions for Xavier? If I could ask you quickly, Xavier, looking back at your career at this point, obviously it's still very young in your career, but if you could look back at when you first started to play football as a kid, and you could talk to yourself, talk to that youngster, what would you tell him?
What would I tell my younger self? I would definitely tell him to just keep your head down and just keep working. That good things do pay off if you work hard. and all those cliche things that people said, like hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard. All that stuff is true. And I think I'd like to say I'm an image of that. I had to work hard for the things that I've done and the abilities I've had. So I would definitely tell my younger self to just keep working and just keep believing in yourself, even when it seems dark, I guess.
Any other questions? All right, well, that will conclude our interview with Xavier. Thank you again so much for your time and good luck on Saturday.
Thank you, guys.